He still likes to eat dirt. It's snack time.
It's snack time. You know, we spend a lot of our lives at work. So much of our day and our week is, spent selling out for the man. So if you're going to be there, you might as well make money. So I remember one day, shortly after high school, I was but a wee little lad. My mom pulled me aside and she said, Terry, what you need to do is wait tables until, you get a real job. And you need to work at a really nice restaurant. You can get in. Just tell them you've got more experience than you really have. I said, Mother, you are a Sunday school teacher. I cannot believe what I am hearing from your mouth. Lie to a manager of a fine eatery? How dare you, Mother? How could you look in the mirror, woman? How could you feel good about yourself? And my mom said, it's called the rent, Terry. Learn to pay it, boy. And I did. I went to the nicest restaurant in town. It was in Bethesda. It's called, I'm not going to say what it's called. But anyway, the only clientele there were like 300-year-old rich people who lived in Bethesda, a very upper crust, upper scale place, like people like, Mr. and Mrs. Howe would come in and eat at this restaurant. I mean, only the best of the old folks, even the Golden Girls, who are probably the right age range, don't have the money to eat at this restaurant. So all these old skeletons would walk in, 1 foot of the grace, people. I lied to get in. I said, I've got 4 years waiting table experience. I made up restaurants. I lied. So I know a lot of people say, you deserve what happened to you in this snack, Terry. You deserve the correction. You deserve the humiliation. I dare say no, I don't. Anyway, all these old fogies would come in. The women would have fur coats. The men would wear top hats because they were from 1870. So, they didn't realize styles had actually, changed a little bit. So they would come in, they would sit down, and it was so funny. It was time to tip me. They would go, come here, honey, and they would fold up their $5 or their $10 bill, and they would put it in my hand, and they would wrap my fingers around it and go, you deserve this. Ooh, you are so wonderful. You were wonderful. Oh, if you only every waiter could be as wonderful as you. I mean, of course, those were the tables that liked me. Not all of them did, people. Not all of them did. But the tables may have liked me, but there was one person who didn't. The man who was large and in charge. The boss's son, Billy, who owned the restaurant practically. His father was 1 foot in the grave, hooked up to a respirator, sounding like Darth Vader. Billy was large and in charge and just waiting for his father to croak. He wanted his dear old dad to die because Billy was getting the yacht. Billy was getting the restaurant. Billy was getting the trust fund, the Swiss bank account, the ski resort, the house in the Hamptons, the house by the Kennedys. Billy was ready to cash in big, and he didn't put up with no crap, no sir. And he saw me as a detriment to his little restaurant. He saw me as an alien, as a poor waiter, as a 2-star, 2-bit server. He knew I wasn't cut out to work in his fine establishment, and he was determined to get me out by any means possible, people. Just like Dirty Harry, he wanted to wipe me off the face of the world. So he started watching me, started trying to pick Snackboy apart. I know what you're saying. Oh, Snackboy, how did you live up to the scrutiny? I don't know. It was not easy. I remember one night, it was a Friday, it was thunderstorm, it was like the movie Clue. It was dramatic, and I was busy, and I was trying to give everyone 4-star service. I was trying so hard. I know what you're saying. Oh, Snackboy, you did the best that you could. I did. And Billy called me over. Terrence! I said, oh, no, that's Billy's voice. That is the voice of terror. I went over to him with my tail between my legs, and I said, yes, Billy. I dared not look in his eyes, for they were the eyes of the demon, the eyes of the Antichrist, the eyes of he who walks behind the corn. I closed my eyes. I looked at my shoes, and I said, yes, Billy. He said, look at that table. I said, what table, Billy? He said, table 62. I looked at table 62. He goes, what do you see, Terry? I said, I see 2 content customers who've been treated wonderfully by me. He said, no. The glassware, Terence, what do you see? Look around you, Clarice. What do you see? The lambs, have they stopped screaming? I said, Billy, I see people with iced tea. What kind of glasses is the tea in? Water glasses, Billy. Water glasses, Terry! How dare you? You put tea in water glasses. What kind of a server are you, Terry? What kind of a server do we have on our midst? What kind of demon do we have in our ranks? I think we need to sift through the wheat and get to the core of the trouble. And I think you are keeping us from being a 5-star restaurant, Terry. A 5-star restaurant. This was before the soup Nazi. I said, okay, Billy, I'll do better. He goes, you better do better, Terry, because you are skating on thin ice. I couldn't believe he said it. Rage! My blood boiled. I looked at the blood as it caressed through my veins and up my arms and through my biceps and up and through my chest, into my throat, and out my mouth started to bubble and spit. Oh, I was a furnace. I was a living, breathing furnace, people. The rage, the butterflies turned into little death moths with teeth, and I was like, what did you say to me, Billy? He said, you are skating on thin ice, and I don't know what can happen to me, people. I was like little Linda Blair in The Exorcist. My head rotated a full, how many degrees does that happen? Is it 380 or 160? But however many degrees it is, that's how many my head turned. And I said, no, I'm not, Billy. I'm not skating on thin ice. I quit. I quit. I quit. I quit. I quit. I quit. He goes, what? No one quits this restaurant. I said, I do. And I turned around and I took off my apron and I said, ladies and gentlemen of this fine establishment, and the thunder crackled on that Friday evening through the windows. And for a minute the lights dimmed as if I was doing it. I said, ladies and gentlemen of this fine establishment, I, Terry Nelson Crummett, quit right here, right now. You don't have me to push around anymore, people. Bye, bye. And I started to walk for the door. I took my sidecar, I dropped it on the floor. I took my apron, I dropped it. I took my 3 pens, I dropped them, and I walked out. He goes, Terry, come back. I think we all said things we didn't mean tonight. I turned around and I said, not me, Billy. Not me.